Needless Things Podcast. Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things Podcast, where we talk about toys, movies, music, and all manner of pop culture dorkery. I'm your host, Dave, and I want to wish you a happy, successful, wonderful new year. And also, I want to personally invite you to a live recording of the Needless Things Podcast for the 200th episode. That's right, the Needless Things Podcast 200th episode extravaganza is happening at the In-Town Coffee House in Atlanta, Georgia on January 25th. I mentioned this, I think, last week. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. I have guests lined up. I have musical acts lined up. I don't want to tell you too much about it right now because I think everybody's going to be pretty delighted with the format that I've chosen. And if you've been paying attention for the last few years, you may have a good idea of what kind of live Needless Things podcast I would want to put on. But January 25th, mark it on your calendar, 7:30 p.m. Show up a little early if you want to. We're still working out some of the details about it, but it will be a big live show that will be recorded both audio and video for the 200th episode of the Needless Things Podcast. Go to Facebook if you're in the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group. It's there. It's pinned. Sign up. RSVP. Do whatever you got to do. And also, please spread the word. This is going to be a lot of fun. I expect all of you guys that are, convenient to Atlanta to be there. But I definitely, it's going to be something you don't have to be. You don't have to know the podcast. You show up and you're going to get the format immediately. You're going to understand what's going on. It's going to be a great time for everyone. We're going to, you know how I do. We're going to have audience participation. We're going to have the Needless Things irregulars. And like I said, we've got music. We've got different things happening. We have guests, informative guests, panel. There's going to be panel. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. I'm so excited about it. I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I've got to give a big, huge thank you to our friends Ricky and Bambi and Jazz for coming in here, swooping in at the last possible minute when I thought I was going to end up just having to do kind of a big episode and not be able to do the live show that I've been wanting to do for a year now because I couldn't get a venue. And those guys saved the day. That's it. That's exactly what happened. So go to the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group. Join it if you haven't joined it already. And the first pinned post there is the event. And you can also look up Needless Things Podcast 200th episode extravaganza, and you'll find the event page, RSVP. Just clear your schedule for that evening, January 25th, because you do not want to miss this. I hate to put it over too big, but this is going to be momentous. It is an occasion, and it'll be up on YouTube. It'll be the 200th episode of the podcast, obviously, but you don't want to miss out on seeing it live. It's something really special. My heart and soul is going into this because it's something I've dreamed of doing since I was very, very young. For 30 years now, at least. This has been a dream of mine. As a matter of fact, that timing is pretty excellent considering. But like I said, more details to come. But for now, all you need to know is incredible live show with lots of entertainment value for your buck. And I say that because it's a free all-ages show. All I ask is that you bring a little bit of cash as a donation for the venue. The In-Town Coffee House operates off of donations at the events that they host, and it's a wonderful place. So other than that, though, just show up ready to have fun and maybe ready to interact in some crazy Needless Things business. Speaking of crazy Needless Things business, today on the show, is Ryan Cadaver, stuck by the Phantom Zone. And then later in our conversation, Phantom Jr. makes his debut on the Needless Things podcast. He stopped in and we talked a little bit about movies, and he explained to me and Ryan where the heck all the Infinity Stones or gems or whatever they're calling them in the MCU are, as well as dropping some other relevant 10-year-old information that I think you're going to find entertaining. We certainly did. So that's happening on today's show. It is a big random conversation between me, Ryan Cadaver, and a little bit Phantom Jr. So we had a lot of fun. And also, for the first time ever on the Needless Things podcast, we have a beverage experiment. That's just me and Ryan, though. Phantom Jr. is not old enough to partake. I want to talk about, real quick, it's January. Right now, I am in the Phantom Zone, which is the lower level of my home, and it's 24 degrees outside in Georgia. And in here, I don't know that it's much warmer. I turned my little space heater on down here to try and warm it up a little bit, and I'm sure like right around the time I finish production on the episode is when it'll start to warm up in here. Right now, I can't feel my fingers, and I'm a little concerned that these headphones might be stuck to my ears. But anyway, I love this. I love it when it's this cold out. I was out the other day with the family, and I told Mrs. Troublemaker, I said, I think it was 37 degrees or something like that. We went out and saw Jumanji, which, by the way, is wonderful. It's so much fun, you guys. I'm not a fan of the original one, and I thought this one was tremendous fun, and I can't actually remember if Ryan and I discussed it or not. But we were out seeing Jumanji, and I just said I don't need it to ever be warmer than this. I love the cold. If it gets above, say, 65, I'm annoyed. I don't need it. If I want to be warm, I'll go somewhere where it's warm. I would love for it to just be cold always. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but I do. I like the cold, and I'm thrilled with how it is outside right now, and I'm okay with the fact that I can't feel my fingers, although it may make it difficult to pause this for a break in just a minute. Okay, another movie I'm going to recommend, in addition to Jumanji, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about because, like I said, I can't actually remember if we talked about it or not, but it's a lot of fun. There's a movie on Netflix that a friend and Phantomaniac recommended called What Happened to Monday. It's a Netflix original. I don't know if they actually produced it or if they're just the distributor, but right now it's only on Netflix. It stars Noomi Rapace, and also features Willem Dafoe and Glenn Close. And I don't want to tell you too much about it. It is sort of an alternate Earth type deal, and yet there are things that could very easily be our Earth. But it is awesome. I didn't know a thing about it going in other than my friend had just said, you need to check this movie out. And so I don't, when somebody says that to me, I don't go look it up. It's good enough to me, depending on who it's coming from. If it's somebody that's a reliable source as this person is, I'll just go watch it. I don't need to know who's in it. I don't need to know anything. And within the first few minutes, I saw those three people, and I was like, oh, I'm in. But the movie went on to just blow my mind repeatedly. It's excellent. It's very well done. It's a tremendous story. Noomi Rapace, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, but I've seen it written. I don't know that I've ever heard it said. Is just amazing. She has quite a role in this movie, and I was blown away by her abilities. You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the movie. And if you've got Netflix, you can go watch it right now. Well, not right now. Wait till you're done listening to the podcast, which you're probably in the car anyway, and you shouldn't be watching movies in the car. But check out What Happened to Monday. Go home, put it in your queue, watch it as soon as you get a chance. It's awesome. You will thank me. I promise you will thank me. As opposed to Mother, which I personally loved, but I know very few people are going to thank me if they watch it based off my recommendation. All right, finally, before we get into the episode, I have a new segment that I'm going to start trying to remember to do every week that I think will be great for me and great for you as well, and it's Phantom's Pick. Each week, I'm going to give you one piece of merchandise that you can go to needlessthingspodcast.com. That's a new domain, needlessthingspodcast.com. Click on that big old Amazon box and go buy this thing to help out the Needless Things podcast and to help out yourself, because Amazon kicks back a little bit of money of each and every purchase you make through that link to help out the show. It doesn't cost you anything extra. So this week's pick is The Breakfast Club from the Criterion Collection. You know the John Hughes film. Everybody's seen it. Everybody loves it. But this is the Criterion Blu-ray. It features 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, alternate 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack, audio commentary from 2008 featuring Anthony Michael Hall and Judd Nelson, new interviews with Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy, a new video essay featuring director John Hughes' production notes read by Judd Nelson, a documentary from 2008 featuring interviews with the cast and crew, 50 minutes of never-before-seen deleted and extended scenes. That's the stuff that I really love, is we shot it, and, maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but it just didn't work in the context of the movie. Rare promotional and archival interviews, excerpts from a 1985 American Film Institute seminar with Hughes, which that is another big one for me. 1999 radio interview with Hughes, all the stuff with John Hughes. I'm really excited about. Segment from a 1985 episode of NBC's Today featuring the film's cast. Audio interview with Ringwald from a 2014 episode of This American Life. Trailer, and an essay by author and critic David Camp. I don't know who that is. Probably won't even watch that feature. But everything else on here, all the stuff with John Hughes, the commentaries and the new interviews. This is an excellent, it's Criterion Collection. It's the best of the best. Even above, look, I'll be honest here. Criterion Collection, what they put out generally doesn't interest me as much as the stuff from like Arrow or Scream Factory or Shout Factory or whatever. But as far as quality of special features and execution of the actual movie and transfer and all the technical stuff, nobody's better than Criterion. So you can go to needlessthingspodcast.com, click on the big Amazon box, and type in Criterion Breakfast Club and order yourself this incredible version of this incredible movie. If you don't have it in your collection, this is the way to get it. And if you do have it, it's not as good as this edition. So go get it, check it out. That is Phantom's pick for the first week of 2018. And now it's time for a special song. Now, our buddies the Mystery Men will be back on the show with some music next week. Not live, but you know how we do our interstitial stuff. This week, because it's in honor of it being so cold outside, I've got a little treat from our friends Les Sexoflex NSFW.
Hace frío.
SHECOLD. She cold. She froze. Oh wait,
Just kidding, she cold.
she frosty. She white.
Nipples sticking out like flashlights. There's a tundraland in my underland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
You'll no comprehend. Let's be more than friends. Got VIP tickets to Thunderland.
Oh, I better bring a jacket. So climactic, throw me some words that rhyme with jacket.
Jacket.
She cold, she froze. Don't mean you gotta keep on your clothes.
She frosty. She white.
Palm trees and a beach. Yeah, right. Good goose down.
That's the one. That's the one we're starting with right there. All right, shut up. That's enough out of you, Steppenwolf. All right, so we're in the Phantom Zone. I'm sitting here with Ryan Cadaver, and we're just going to talk about stuff, probably 2018 stuff mostly, but who knows? I don't know what we're going to end up talking about.
Doesn't matter. We'll talk about something.
That's right.
There's plenty of cool stuff that happened this year and plenty of cool stuff happening next year.
Well, something really cool is going to happen before this podcast even posts, and I don't know why I'm even talking about it, except that I have to. I'm wearing right now a Chris Jericho Alpha Club t-shirt that I got at Hot Topic. And
Pretty awesome.
even though the match will have happened by the time this episode goes up, I've got to mention it because it's insane. How much do you know about Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega?
Oh, I know nothing about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Kenny Omega is, he's a wrestler that, he's built his career in Japan, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like the Hulk Hogan of Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's huge
Okay.
in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of his work because I signed up for the listeners. NJPW has, it's almost like a version of the WWE Network, except it's super crappy.
Oh, okay.
So you can sign up for that and watch any New Japan stuff.
So is Jericho like totally cool with WWE? Like they're cool with this happening?
Well, I mean, they've got to be.
Yeah.
Because Jericho's one of WWE's made men.
Yeah, yeah.
He comes and goes as he pleases. He works whatever schedule he wants.
Yeah.
So my thinking is that, I mean, I don't think he's technically employed by WWE anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's now he comes in and works when he wants to work.
Okay.
And when he's not on TV, he's not really obligated to them.
Okay.
But at the same time...
I'm sure he cleared it with them.
Right. At the same time, if they had said, we really don't want you to do this, I don't know that he would have. Although, next year in October, Jericho has a rock and wrestling cruise that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have a bunch of obviously Fozzy is playing it. But right. It's got a bunch of bands playing, and they're going to have a wrestling ring on the cruise ship.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it sounds great. And actually, what sucks about it, it's October 27th through 31st, I think it is. Right.
Yeah, that really sucks.
Not only is it Halloween, but it's also my son's birthday is the 27th. So there's no way I'm going to that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't ever want to go on a cruise because they freak me out.
Oh, I love them.
Really?
They're so awesome, dude.
Okay. What's awesome? Because I've never been on one. I never want to go on one.
Well, it's awesome because first off, you have no access to your phone. You're out in the middle of the ocean, so like you have to cut yourself off from everybody. Okay. Whether it's and like I have a job where it's like one of those things where I literally have to have my phone on me at all times, and it's one of those things where if something goes wrong, they are going to call me. So it's really cool to just get away for 6 days and be like, listen, there's no way you can contact me. There's nothing I can do. So
yeah, you've gotten calls here, right?
Yeah,
you've had to do something,
and stuff like that happens to me all the time. So it's really cool to just be like put up an email and be like, hey, listen, there's no way that you can get in touch with me. I am gone for 7 days or whatever.
Right.
So that's cool.
I get that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that everything's taken care of. Like you wake up, like you're like, oh, I'm going to start drinking, and then I'm going to eat. And then
now, do you do because from what I understand, they've got like a booze pass. Like you can either pay for your drinks or you can do a booze pass.
Well, okay, with how much I drink, I would say you would have to do the booze pass.
You're like, maybe no other way.
Yeah, maybe a normal person could get away with doing like 3 or 4 drinks a day, and like it might be cheaper.
Right.
But yeah, like the last one we went on, we did the booze pass, and it was awesome. And I think they still put a limit on it. They're like, I think like 16 a day or something. And like we kept trying to push
up against it.
Yeah, I like kept pushing towards it and never quite hit it. But it's just awesome. There's just always stuff going on. Like I went on the Disney one and they had like a movie theater on the boat. So I'm like sitting there watching Marvel movies and I'm watching Big Hero 6 and all this stuff in the theater on the boat,
right? Drinking,
eating, going to the pool. Like it's awesome. I don't even care about the destinations. I'm like,
Are you aware of like movement at all? Like how do the boats?
It's only when there's like really bad storms, which I guess you can't really predict. But I've had one instance where I got really bad motion sick, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the room. Went down, laid down, and I was good. Woke up in the morning, totally good. And I get motion sick like pretty easily.
Oh, okay.
So I've only had one instance where it really bothered me, but usually, I mean, you can't really tell at all.
Interesting. I just that whole concept of being isolated, like. If you're on this ship, you're 3 days out, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. Too bad for you, sucker.
Oh, yeah. You're screwed.
And that bugs me out a little bit.
Well, and I get that. Like, this last trip we went on, we were in Romania, and we were, like, so far away from any, like, we're in Romania, but we're also on top of a mountain, and, like, away from every possible thing.
Right.
Even if we wanted, like, a taxi to take us somewhere, like, it would take, like, an hour and a half to get to us. So it was like, we're in a foreign country, we're completely isolated, and like, I totally straight up had a panic attack one day. So, I mean, that is a thing. Like, it's a concern. Like, I straight up had a panic attack, had to, like, call my parents and pay probably, like, $10 a minute. And I was like, I just need to talk to somebody. How are y'all doing? I just have to talk to somebody. So, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Like, the isolation thing's a real deal, but, if you drink enough, you can persevere through anything.
Push through anything, yeah. And I got to say, if I was going to do a cruise, that Jericho cruise would be it. Like I said, they got a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a wrestling ring on the ship, and for the first time ever, there are going to be wrestling matches at sea.
Dude, that's so cool.
But he went to WWE first, and they said no. No, he couldn't do it, but no, they weren't interested.
They weren't
in
interested in being. Yeah.
So he's got Ring of Honor is doing the matches now.
Oh,
which
wow.
is huge.
Yeah.
But the theory is, and Jericho's not going to talk about it because he's a smart guy who doesn't burn bridges, who doesn't...
He doesn't run his mouth.
Yeah, well, he does, but in a very smart way. Mm-hmm. So the running theory is after WWE turned him down for that, he was kind of like, okay, well, fuck you guys. I got a few other things I want to do. And so Kenny Omega, who is also from Winnipeg, is this huge star in Japan.
Yeah.
And what I think is one of the most significant things that's happened in pro wrestling in the last decade, if not longer, happened when at one of the recent New Japan pay-per-views, Jericho video came up on their big New Japan-tron or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it was Jericho. And everybody in the arena went fucking apeshit because Chris Jericho doesn't show up anywhere that's not WWE.
Yeah.
And
that's why, I had heard about the match, but I was stunned. I was like, what?
He talked some shit to Kenny Omega. They had already been talking on Twitter, which is how a lot of things happen nowadays,
Yeah.
But, anybody can talk on Twitter.
Yeah.
I could, talk shit to...
Doesn't mean you're going to show up in Japan.
Yeah, right. Well, the next pay-per-view, and I may be out of the... Because I haven't been... I had New Japan's web service for a while, and it's just so confounding.
Is there an app for it, or you have to
No,
get a
it's
website?
literally like a website. I mean, they've got an app, but it's one of those apps where you open the app up and it directs you to the website.
Wow.
It's super... They need Rad Ranger to figure this crap out for them, is what they need. But the website is really... It's not user-friendly. It's very hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And I love the content that's on there, but I kept it for about a month and then dropped it because I just couldn't deal with it. But I'm probably going to subscribe again to see this match because the second thing that happened is Omega came out and the lights went dark like they did the first time when Jericho video played, but when they came back up, Jericho was in the ring. Mm-hmm. And he attacked Kenny Omega, beat the shit out of him, and beat the shit out of Don Callis, the Jackal, who's from my personal favorite podcast right now, Killing the Town, with Storm and Cyrus.
Okay.
It's a really, really good wrestling podcast. They get a lot of road stories and stuff. But the Jackal, Don Callis, Cyrus, whatever, he's part of that podcast, and he's part of the English announce team with Kevin Kelly for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
But Callis, storyline-wise, I don't know the reality of it, but he's been friends with Jericho for 20-something years. Kenny Omega, I think his uncle... or a friend of Callis trained Omega, or Omega's uncle worked with Callis. There's a relationship there as well.
Okay.
And the storyline that they're putting forth is that Callis brokered this fight between Omega and Jericho. But he's Omega's boy. He's Kenny Omega's boy.
Okay.
So Jericho came in, beat up Callis. Callis took his first bumps he's taken in 17 years or something like that. And they made it was a huge deal because Jericho just showing up in Japan unannounced.
No, that's huge. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Were there any leaks leading up to it?
None.
That's awesome.
Nobody knew he was going to be
killer.
There. So this match happens. I think it's 2 days from now. It's the 3rd, but in America it'll be the 4th. Mm-hmm. And it's massive. I mean, in my mind, this is the biggest wrestling match of the last decade. Goldberg coming back doesn't even touch it.
Yeah.
To the general public who doesn't even know who Kenny Omega is, probably not. But to wrestling fans, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is like Ali and Hogan or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane. So I'm super stoked about it. I had to buy my Chris Jericho shirt because
that's awesome.
Kenny Omega's great. I totally respect the guy. But Chris Jericho's Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
I love the guy for 20 years now.
Yeah,
20,
I've always been a
21
fan of him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's got charisma, and he's just a great wrestler.
Yeah. When he's motivated.
Yeah.
Because over the last year, he's been motivated. And he's done some of the best work of his entire career.
Been awesome recently, yeah.
But the few years before that, he was kind of on and off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got to see this match. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that's going to be killer, dude.
So that's I wanted to start off with that, and I guess next week, maybe after I've seen the match, I'll talk about it on next week's episode, because Bo Brown is all about some wrestling, right?
Yeah. Oh, he'll love that.
But actually, I was going to show you this Harley Quinn. This is no good for the listeners, but I was just going to pop it open for you to check out. That's the 112 one. And for the listeners, I've been reviewing all of the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn figures.
Oh, she's got 3 heads.
Yeah. Not all at the same time. She's not a chimera.
That'd be a weird concept. Oh, the bubblegum one.
I'll be reviewing the Hot Toys Harley Quinn coming up in the next couple of weeks here sometime. Once I've got time to sit down and actually review her. I've taken pictures with my new sweet-ass camera that I love. But yeah, that Harley design is awesome. So...
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one.
You and I both dug Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit, though, about what the heck is going on with DC's movies.
I don't know, man. I hear something different every single
right?
day. Yeah.
Every day there are like 3 new articles that say, here are the, now we're getting a Joker origin movie. Yeah. Now we're getting a Shazam movie.
I saw something
now there's
yesterday
a Black Adam
movie. Ben Affleck, who I've been hearing is leaving the role of Batman for forever.
Right.
Like, since he started, basically. And I saw something yesterday that it was, like, one of the bigger comic book sites, like, posted, and they were like, new reports say Ben Affleck is going to be, like, the new, like, guy in charge. Like, Jeff Johns is stepping down. He's going to be the guy in charge of all the DC movies. And Ben Affleck's going to run the show.
I had heard that Johns was stepping away from which doesn't make any sense because
he just got in place.
He came in like halfway through Justice League's production. I feel like
that's what annoys me. I'm like, give people a chance, like stick it through. Which is I guess it's his choice.
They don't.
But yeah.
Well, I don't know. It may not be his choice because Warner Brothers, like, they kind of did a grin and bear it thing through Man of Steel and Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. But I think at this point they feel like they've got to make big changes.
Yeah.
I think Shazam starts shooting soon.
Yeah.
I think
and Aquaman's coming out this year.
Yeah, we know Aquaman's happening.
Yeah.
Shazam, I think, starts filming this month or already has started filming.
Yeah,
because Zachary Quinto, not Zachary Quinto.
That'd be weird. That would be pretty good.
Okay. I don't know. He'd be a good Black Adam.
Yeah.
He'd be a good Black Adam.
I don't know. I really love the idea of The Rock being there.
I do too, especially after seeing Jumanji today. I heard you talking to Mrs. Troublemaker. You haven't seen Jumanji yet?
Yeah.
You guys need to see it.
Yeah. Well, Nicole wants to see it really bad, so that's going to be on the list.
It's so much fun. It's funny because within the first 20 minutes, I was thinking to myself, like, they didn't need to make this movie this good.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed Jurassic World.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, like having watched it a couple more times, it really is sort of let's make another dinosaur movie.
Oh, totally.
And they didn't do...
It didn't feel like new or like amazing. It was just like, oh, this is cool.
And Jumanji, even though it was basically the same story as the first Jumanji, they really did step it up. They
Did they reference the board game version of the Jumanji? Or?
I don't want to spoil that for you.
Okay.
It has been like it's part of the promotion that there is a reference in there.
Yeah.
So it's not a spoiler to say that there is.
Yeah.
But the way that they do it made me so happy that I'll leave it like that.
Cool. Yeah, I want to see it this week for sure.
But yeah,
but I got to see Shape of Water too because I haven't seen.
Oh, dude, Shape of Water.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen it more than once because when I put up my best of the other day, because Logan was my favorite movie.
That's a solid choice, man. That movie's great.
It really is.
Yeah.
I've watched it several times since the first time I saw it.
It's so good.
I've mostly gotten over my annoyance at the Reavers and the fact that they're just dudes with robot arms.
Yeah.
Because it's what Hollywood does. Did you have a favorite last year?
Let's see. Over the last year, I'm trying to think. Like, I had a lot that I enjoyed that, like, everyone else hated, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I'm in that boat with you, or I'm at least, like, parallel to you in a different way.
I mean, there's a lot of that, but, like, there's a lot of stuff I really like this year. I'm trying to think of, honestly, probably It, I think, because It was, like, the one that I, like, and that's the one that a lot of my friends, like, hate. like a lot of people I know just like despise. But like I went and saw it, and I remember being terrified. It was the first movie I remember being completely terrified of.
Yeah, is
the It like miniseries. Like it scared me so bad. And my dad would, like, purposely, like, put it on and be like, you know, hey, little boy, you want a balloon? And it freaked me out really bad. And I thought that, you know, the new performance, Skarsgård?
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
Which, this is weird. I saw him in something the other day.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a trailer for something. And he's, like, totally normal looking, like, good looking dude.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be at least, like, a little weird looking.
Yeah.
Which he's not at all.
No, he's totally normal looking. I've seen him in something else too, but that movie blew me away. I thought it was great. I love the execution. I love the fact that there's the way they're setting up for a sequel instead of trying to cram everything into one movie.
Yeah.
Because I was really concerned about that because I didn't realize that there was going to be a part 2 when I saw it. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I had no idea. So when I saw it, I was like totally blown away. I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
That's great. See, I knew going in that they already had planned for
Slated
part
the second
2.
one?
Yeah.
So I had no idea. I was just like, I'm going to go see the Scary Clown movie. And I hate clowns, but I love that movie. I thought it was great. I still hate clowns, but I love that movie.
That one was super high up on my list. I can't wait to see it again. And that was another one that I only saw it once.
Yeah, I saw it twice.
So I didn't totally feel like because, you know, at this point, man, I've got to see a movie at least twice before I really know how I feel about it. Because Jurassic World, first time I saw it, I loved it.
Yeah.
Second time I watched it, I was like, I kind of get people's criticisms. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big, fun movie.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah.
But I'm looking up.
I watched it. I watched Jurassic World again because I saw it once in the theater, and then I saw it recently at like a hotel we're staying at. And it, and I was like, guys, this is kind of dumb. But it was still awesome.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I thought, this is completely satisfying. And then the second time I kind of realized, like, yeah, it is a little dumb.
Yeah, I started picking apart stuff, which I hate doing, but, you know.
I'm trying to look up the director of It, because I totally want to give that guy a shout-out on the show. We need to mention him, because he did such a good job. But they list all of the actors long before they ever list the director, if you're just looking at stuff online.
Yeah. Another movie I really liked, which we had talked about, was that Christmas movie, Better Watch Out.
Andy Muschietti.
Andy Muschiett's director?
Muschietti, I'm not sure. He's got an Instagram
Andy Muschietti's
account.
way cooler.
Andy Muschietti.
Andy Muschietti.
Yeah, but, that's Andy Sedaris' secret. It is actually directed by Andy Sedaris.
I wish that Malibu Express came out this year because it'd be my favorite. Because I watched it 4 times over the weekend, and that's like my new favorite movie. It's so awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about You Better Watch Out.
Yeah, all right. So I recommended it to you.
You did.
I genuinely liked it. I had heard it's like Home Alone, but like mixed with Hostel is what I heard. And that's not even really a good description at all.
No.
But I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I saw it, and I did not see that twist coming at all. And I may have just been like not paying attention close enough or what. But when that twist happened, I was like, whoa, like this is a totally different movie than what I expected.
And sometimes with movies like that, when you're maybe not totally invested, things will kind of take you by surprise. Because I did catch on to what was up.
Okay.
But you had recommended it.
Yeah.
So I was paying attention to the movie.
Okay.
It wasn't one of those things
where...
Well,
I started it on Netflix, and I probably didn't really start paying attention until that point.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, what's happening? This is crazy.
And and for the listeners, if you haven't seen You Better Watch Out yet, I recommend you watch it and check it out. Should we spoil it? It's kind of new. I hate to spoil it.
Yeah.
Let's not. Let's not spoil it. I'll just say there is a twist I saw coming, and it didn't resolve in the way that I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But it was really, really well done. The performances were amazing. Yeah. I mean, that kid is amazing.
Dude, that kid, great actor.
If he doesn't go on to bigger and better things, that's a shame.
Yeah. And I was kind of like wondering that. I was like, oh, did you notice that the I can't remember his name, the asshole kid from the new Stranger Things was in that? The guy with the long hair? What's his name? Not Jake.
Was that?
That was like the Wigger boyfriend that shows up?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't even realize that. Now that you say it.
Yeah. I noticed that, and I was like, oh, okay, so they got,
That's funny. That's cool.
There's a couple big names thrown in that movie, but I didn't really hear anything about it until it was on Netflix.
No,
I think I watched it on Shudder.
I knew it was out, but I think I saw a couple people say something about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I follow a lot of morons on Facebook, so I don't always take it for certain.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that people suggest.
I mean, it's totally worth watching.
Yeah.
But it did piss me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But I also feel like it's set up where they could do another one if they want.
Probably.
So I guess that's good, too.
Yeah.
A movie I'm dying to talk about that I don't know if we could do an episode about it or not. I would have loved... If we could have done a commentary with none of us having seen it, it would have been the best Needless commentary ever.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. Have you seen Mother yet?
No, I haven't. I heard it's wild.
Dude. And I'm not trying to say it's this... I mean, it is great, though. But it's not like... It's not great in a this is really fun and entertaining way, but it is.
Okay.
It's insane, and it grabbed me.
I love Javier Bardem. I think he's awesome.
It grabbed me,
yeah,
and it took me somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I was totally caught up in the what the fuckness of that movie.
Awesome. Okay. I think I might dig that one. Yeah.
Man, and you have to stick with it to the end.
Okay.
You have to
yeah, because I really don't know much about it.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't look it up.
Okay.
Don't let anybody else tell you anything about it.
Well, I saw the trailer and it looked like Rosemary's Baby type of thing.
And that is the vibe that the trailer gives off.
Okay, cool.
And that's
all you need to know about it. Okay.
Yeah, I recommend, and look, for the listeners, well, and for you.
Yeah.
If you go in and you watch it and you don't like it, you can send me nasty emails, nasty Facebook messages, whatever you want to do, and I will take them. Because for the 5 people that are going to adore that movie as much as I did,
yeah,
it's worth abuse from like 500 people.
Okay.
Because it's just that interesting and weird. And
well, typically that's the kind of movies I like.
Well, I mean, you've seen other Aronofsky stuff,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I have, yeah. So, and it's one of those things where, like, I like not knowing a lot about a movie these days.
Right.
Like, I try not to look up much about
it. Yeah. I watched the first trailer.
Same here, yeah.
And if I can avoid anything else...
Yeah.
Unless the first trailer convinces me I don't give a shit.
Well, then you're like, what?
And then I'll watch all the trailers and,
But,
whatever.
like, the first Black Panther trailer, like, loved
That's
it.
all I need.
And I was like, this is awesome, I'm going to see it.
Yep.
Like, I was like, that's all I need. Done.
Before we get to Black Panther, because we're going to get to that...
well, and there's so much stuff that came out in the early part of the year, like that. So much good stuff, like Wonder Woman and all that stuff, like that. I think of as like a whole another year ago.
Can we? Okay, let's finish real quick. Let's finish our what's going on with DC, and we'll come back to the 2 movies for everybody that follows now. NeedlessThingsPodcast.com. For everybody that follows it, when I was talking about my favorite movies of the year, I mentioned 2 movies that I had seen, that I had enjoyed to varying degrees, but that I felt were overrated.
Okay.
Let's wrap up DC real quick, and we'll come back to those 2 movies, because I want to see what you thought of each of those movies.
Okay.
So with DC, we know Aquaman's happening. It's
yeah.
I think it's even done with. I think it's done with shooting, and they're in post now.
Yeah, it's in post production. It's done.
Wonder Woman 2
and there's also some weird stuff, like James Wan is like straight up said, like, the stuff that we saw in Justice League, he's like, that's not how my Atlantis works, and
really?
That's not how they're going to talk. And,
well, and you know what? Honestly,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like some of this stuff is limiting to the other directors.
When they're too beholden to a central vision, but they don't have a Kevin Feige,
yeah,
it's a bad scene.
Yeah.
And that's one of DC's problems.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's good, keep it more, and I hate to use it as an example because it's been such a horrible roller coaster ride, but Fox's X-Men franchise,
when they've
as much as
caring about continuity, it's
right,
better.
as much as I hate it that it's not more cohesive, for the purposes of just we got to get another movie out, it's worked.
I agree.
It has, because First Class wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. If
Fox's X-Men were in an MCU scenario, we wouldn't have gotten Matthew Vaughn's X-Men First Class.
Which is one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite.
It's my favorite of the X-Men.
Of the X-Men movies, I think it's my favorite.
It is my favorite.
I like it. Didn't care for Days of Future Past that much, but...
I hated Days of Future Past. Or as we call it around here, the Professor X's crying game. Because all he does in that whole movie is cry like a bitch.
Yeah, that's true.
But I liked Apocalypse, which everybody else hated.
Oh, really? I didn't even see it.
Dude.
I was so done. I watched Logan, but I was like...
I bet you'd like Apocalypse.
Okay, cool.
I bet you would. Matter of fact, I've got it upstairs. I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
I bet you'll dig it.
Okay, cool.
And I you need to bring my Halloween Hootenanny.
I got it. It's in my car.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Actually, it never left my car, so...
Perfect. And then, Shazam is definite. Wonder Woman 2, obviously that's going to happen.
That has to happen.
Aquaman's happening. But those are the only three we know for sure.
Yeah.
Because Flashpoint, they've announced it, but what does that even mean?
But they've announced tons of stuff.
Right.
They've announced Justice League 2. They've announced Man of Steel 2. They've announced a lot of stuff.
Well, no, actually, I don't think they ever announced Man of Steel 2.
Okay. Really?
I don't think.
Yeah. All right. Maybe not.
I don't think
possible.
they did.
Yeah.
Now the talks about Man of Steel 2 are they want Matthew Vaughn to do it, which...
That would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm totally good with that.
Because I love everything that guy's done, starting with Stardust.
Yeah.
You've seen Stardust, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie was incredible. Turned me into a fan of his, and now Kick-Ass, Stardust.
I didn't know he did that. I love Kick-Ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other Mark Miller one about the Assassin's Guild. Wanted.
Yeah. That was fun.
And obviously Kingsman. I haven't seen the second Kingsman yet.
I've heard it's really disappointing.
What?
I've heard it's really disappointing.
Oh no!
Yeah, I've heard from several people.
I don't know that I've heard anything about it, which is just as bad, really.
Yeah, I love Kingsman, but I'm a little worried about Kingsman too.
No.
Yeah.
Although now your expectations are lowered,
so I might just be like,
maybe
"This is
you'll dig it
awesome."
more, right?
Well, I mean, and even though I did I liked Batman vs Superman. Obviously, loved Wonder Woman. Obviously, have problems with Batman vs Superman. But when I went into Justice League, I had been a beaten down DC fan, and I was sitting there and I was like, whatever. Like at that point, I was like, and then then I watched it and I was like, that was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
So yes, obviously, second and third viewing, I'm like, okay, I see some problems. But
it's still overall a fun movie. I still
really liked the movie.
Kick back and enjoy.
Well, and that's what what me and Nicole were saying when we walked out. We walked out we had fun. You know, I wouldn't necessarily call Batman vs Superman a fun movie.
No,
at all.
No,
at all. But Justice League, it's a fun superhero movie, and I walked out having fun.
But not in the same way that the Marvel ones are. It had its own tone.
It did. It definitely had its own tone, and that And that's important to me. I want them to be different. Because I feel comic books, the DC and Marvel stuff's different. The Image stuff's different.
They feel very different.
Yeah, they feel like different worlds, you know, and I'm okay with that.
What do you think of Todd McFarlane directing a Spawn movie?
Is that happening?
That's happening.
What? I didn't know anything about that.
They're trying to do Spawn again. And again, there are lots of different reports on it.
Yeah.
One of them is that the movie won't even really be about Spawn. He'll be like a background character.
Oh, God.
Right.
That sounds terrible. Just stick with what works.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. And just don't give us that horrible 90s CG and we'll be good. So
last year, there were two movies that got so much acclaim that we'll start with Wonder Woman. Since we've already talked about DC a little bit. Mm-hmm. Everybody went fucking apeshit over Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. I think Wonder Woman is very good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as everybody says it is.
Okay.
It's within the field of DC movies.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But in the general realm of action movies or even just superhero movies, it's upper middle class. It's not...
Yeah.
If you have to factor in the girl power thing, then sure. It's tremendous and it's an accomplishment.
Well, I try not to do that. I try to not even factor in the other DC movies. I'm this needs a standalone.
Yeah.
Years from now, I want this to still be a good movie.
And I'll still watch it too.
Oh, yeah.
It will get regular viewings from me, every couple of years over however long. It's that good, for sure.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
But it's not this,
It wasn't groundbreaking.
No.
It wasn't anything that's going to change cinematic history.
And it even, it had, and look, I'm not trying to, I love the movie, and I've watched it several times.
Yeah.
I think it's great. But there are still some decisions in there that are just kind of like...
Mine's mainly Ares. That's the
that
main
was...
thing.
Well, it wasn't even... Like, I loved seeing... I can't remember the actor's name right now.
Oh, he was awesome.
We did the review forever ago. But, when he's big badass Ares and the helmet comes off and it's still that guy's mustache face underneath it. I was like, we couldn't have CGI'd that up a little bit,
Well, or just had the helmet on and black out the face. That'd be fine.
Which is what the figure was.
Yeah, and that's fine. Because that's kind of how Ares looks anyways in most incarnations, so that would be fine.
We did not need his little human head.
Yeah, well, I liked the actor a lot that they chose.
As his human form.
As his human form.
Right.
But
once
it's okay
he's
to be like, now he's... And I feel like it just goes down to the creators being like, oh, they're not smart enough to figure out that's the same guy,
You're probably right.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we are.
Right.
Like, come on.
We get how these things work.
Yeah, I watch Black Mirror. I'm smart. Okay?
Okay, we got to talk about that, too.
Yeah.
But the other movie, and I don't think you and I have talked about this at all.
Okay.
The other movie that I thought was vastly overrated was Get Out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did talk about it.
Did we?
But it was very late, and there were lots of drinks consumed.
Which
it was
happens
like
from time
It was
to time.
like the last time we were over here at like a party or something.
Oh, jeez.
We had talked about it, and I don't know. Like, I didn't see it when it came out because I was worried about all the hype, and I was like, I was just kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't look that appealing to me, and I was worried it was going to be really heavy-handed.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like the story was that heavy-handed as far as like the whole racial thing. It was just enough, and it was all. Now I won't say believable because the end, obviously, but like as far as like the human interactions between the characters, like I thought it was well done.
I thought it was really smart. I thought it was a really, really good statement on racial politics. Like
because it was like the white family trying to be very progressive and like I would have voted for Obama the second time. Like I've seen those interactions happen,
and it was painful.
And it was painful.
Hard to watch
exactly
because we know those.
Because I know those people exactly. So on that aspect, I really liked it, but I even liked it when it got real silly at the end.
Well, I loved the end when the police car pulls up and you're like, "Oh shit, this is it. He's getting shot."
Which apparently wasn't the. Apparently, that was the original.
I just read that the other day.
That
it was
he just
a
got
last
shot,
minute
which
decision.
I wouldn't have been.
No, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I loved the story. I thought the acting was great. But something about the execution for me was lacking. It didn't blow my mind like I wanted it to. Like some of the smaller scale stuff, like the Babadook and It Follows, I was expecting that kind of feeling from it. Like, whoa, this is really some cool, different, powerful stuff.
It Follows blew me away. I'm not a fan of the Babadook, and I think it's probably the same reason you don't like Better Watch Out.
Because the resolution doesn't work for you?
That and just like, I don't know, just some cinematic versions of children, you're just like, stop being that way.
Yeah, that was the point.
I know.
The point was that he was like that.
I know, yeah.
But
let's kill the Babadook with love. I'm like, I mean, that's essentially what happened.
Well, but this was another thing where, for whatever reason, I was really watching the movie.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too long into it before I said, "Oh, the Babadook's depression."
Yeah,
and so I got the metaphor. So it
and I get that.
Once I hooked onto that,
everything clicked.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I
need to go
really,
back to it,
and that's probably the same thing with Get Out.
Yeah.
Is even though I kind of knew what the message was going to be going in.
Yeah.
I guess racially, politically, whatever, like, I was raised, I can't call it a progressive household, but, like, my dad is loved by some people in his company for hiring based purely on skill and not on skin color.
Yeah.
Because his company is very much a good old boys, like, tough to get into type of thing.
Yeah.
And my dad did not care what you looked like. He was going to hire the best person for the job. So he hired he created a lot of diversity in that company.
Yeah.
And I was raised in a household with the same beliefs.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter what anybody looks like.
Yeah.
It matters their quality of character.
Yeah.
So I've observed a lot, and look, I'm not saying in any way that I'm like the ultimate like above race human or anything, because we've all had our issues or whatever. But my life and my family,
that directly.
I didn't have. So for me, Get Out wasn't this revelatory, progressive thing, and I think it's very important. First of all, I love Key and Peele.
Oh, yeah.
And anything they do that succeeds, I'm happy for, because the more power those guys have, I think the better off Hollywood is.
Oh, I agree.
I think Jordan Peele is an important voice. I'll tell you one thing that I went in, the reason I didn't see Get Out in the theater was Keanu.
Yeah.
Because that movie, I didn't like at all.
Oh, yeah. So that was a movie where I was like, that was funny. And then, 30 minutes would pass. And then I'd be like, oh, that was funny. And then, 30 more minutes would pass, and then it's over. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was, some really solid jokes that would have been hilarious in a skit. Or something like that.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, but it was I don't think this was a strong enough idea to constitute an entire movie.
And
which I feel like Get Out was at least a strong enough idea to warrant a movie.
Absolutely.
But Keanu didn't warrant a movie. It was a skit.
and that's the thing,
is skit.
Key and Peele is some of the best comedy television ever.
I totally agree.
So the bar was so high for that.
For their first
that kind of it let me down. So I did Get Out and Wonder Woman, but I think people went a little too nuts over them because of the circumstances, political stuff surrounding them.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. And as far as Wonder Woman goes, I mean, it is in my top 3, but even of all superhero movies, it's top 3. I really think I really like it that much. Well, I just think they nailed the character so perfectly.
Yeah.
But
that to me, that's more Gal Gadot than the movie even.
Yeah, but some of the lines she delivered. Yeah, and I guess it's her delivery, but some of them.
I'm not taking anything away from her.
Oh, I know.
She's magic.
Well, she was great in freaking Batman vs Superman and the Justice League. She's always good. Anytime she's on screen, you're like, oh wow.
Yes, she's electric.
Yeah. But I really did it. But I really dig it. But I also see your point with both of those because people did go overboard. Even with even I agree. DC fans were going ecstatic over Wonder Woman. In a almost uncomfortable way because they're like, look, we got one. We got a new one.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it's all right, guys, settle.
Yeah. So it was a little embarrassing.
Is there any other? I think as far as DC goes, without going into the fan fiction possibilities and the junk that they've brought up, are there any other 2018 movies that you're already stoked about? I know Ready Player One you had mentioned.
Yeah, so I'm reading that book right now. And it's one of those books that you're reading and you're like, this isn't necessarily good, but it's really entertaining. It's not the dialogue's not extremely well written and stuff like that. But and some of the circumstances that he runs into, you're like he can figure his way out of anything, but he's just a normal person. You're like, come on, you aren't that smart. It was established that you're not that smart. So. I have problems with Ready Player One, but I also feel like Steven Spielberg is the perfect person to do an adaptation of it. I said it right this time.
Yeah, you're on it. You got it.
I got it. But so I think that Steven Spielberg is perfect for this.
He nailed adaptation and then came back around the corner and lost the wheel.
Yeah. But no, I think Steven Spielberg is perfect for an adaptation of it. Because he's good at taking something and then changing the source material, but making it better.
I haven't read the book. I'm oddly resistant to things that look like they're purely based on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which is really weird coming from the room that we're sitting in right now. But it's one of those things... Well, actually, no. It's that, and it's the fact that I'm resistant to overnight hotness.
Yeah.
I never got big into grunge music because that literally happened overnight.
Yeah.
Nirvana... I was never into Nirvana.
Yeah.
Because that shit just happened.
Yeah.
And I have this weird, it took me a long time to get into South Park.
Yeah.
Because South Park was immediately popular.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
And Ready Player One kind of felt like it had the same thing where everybody just went nuts for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm too cool for that.
No, it's I don't even think it's that, So I think it's really good world building, and I think that there's limitless possibilities, like with the stories you could tell. And plus, I'm already into virtual reality stuff. Like I think that's cool. So I think that helps too. Because
you've walked around Gotham and Raccoon City.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those things where like I'm all in on virtual reality. Like sign me up. Like plug me in. Like, I want to do whatever I can in virtual reality.
Which, by the way, we've got to remember to talk about Black Mirror, too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But, like, even that kind of stuff. Like, you see the perils of it, but I'm still like, I would try it. Let's see what happens. I don't know. You know, give me eye implants or whatever. We'll see what happens. But, like, I'm all in on virtual reality, and the way that they're building the story of, like, you got this hopeless world, but, like, these people have this escape of virtual reality and this big, giant oasis thing. It's just extremely interesting to me. And I want to see, like, because I know that they're not going to be able to get, like, all the licensing stuff they want. So it's going to be cool because I think he's going to take a lot of the events that happen in the book, but he's going to replace certain characters. Sure. Like, oh, we couldn't get the rights to Ultraman or whatever, so we're going to do, you know, He-Man or what, like.
Well, it's wild looking at the trailer, because I'll be honest, the first trailer I saw, my reaction to it was, ugh.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And we saw another trailer today, right before Jumanji.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm going to have to see it.
Yeah.
Because pop culture is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So I have to see this movie.
Yeah.
But it's just seeing, like, the Back to the Future car, and then some chick from Overwatch, and then, I don't even know all the characters. I mean, it's insane. Yeah. Like Indiana Jones, Chucky, Iron Giant, Freddy.
Chucky.
My gosh. I mean, how are they even doing?
I don't know.
Because licensing is astronomical.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they just worked out something. They're just going to be in it for a second.
But even their presence, because I mean, there are entire TV shows that we don't have on DVD because of licensing problems.
That's true. Yeah.
From like a song, let alone a character likeness. So I mean, it
seems like problematic for sure.
If nothing else,
and that's why I'm kind of more interested in it, because I feel like, you know, like everything in the book is so like, you know, 80s. And I feel like this is going to be cool because they're going to take a lot of stuff from everything.
Right. Which is really smart.
Yeah.
Because as much as we love the 80s, not everybody grew up then or was born then or...
But I'm actually still really into 80s culture. Yeah. And like that's why I'm loving the book.
Right.
But it's one of those things where like it's going to be cool seeing what they pull from. And also I think Spielberg is a really good storyteller, and he genuinely cares about what he's doing. I'm a big fan of his. Even his failures I like. Because I think he's got a lot of heart, and he's a smart guy. And I feel like the story is... I will admit, if somebody was like, that's not a good book, I would be like, you're right. Like, you are right. It is not a good book. But it's a fun book.
Spielberg can probably...
He can probably turn it into a good story. Like, that's what I'm hoping.
I know a bunch of people that love the book.
I don't love it. Like I think that it's a cool world. It's a cool concept. There's a lot of great ideas. The guy writing it, I think it's kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that gives me hope, though. Maybe I can write a book someday.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I wouldn't even suggest, it's not one of those I'd be like, you have to read the book and then see the movie. I think that the only thing the book has done for me is made me excited for the movie. Because I really feel like they could change a whole lot, and I would actually like it better, as opposed to Dark Tower. Which, after reading that book, I was just like, that has to be the worst of last year, like, honestly.
That's how, actually, going back to Matthew Vaughn, that's how I felt about Wanted. I didn't love the comic that much, but I thought the movie was really cool. I thought it streamlined a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes movies do that. People never give people credit for that, but, like, sometimes a movie can be better than the source material.
It can make things a little more cohesive, because... They have to break out some of the chaff. Like, they have to streamline everything.
Cut out some characters.
Yeah, a little slicker.
Amalgamation of characters. Like
I've heard Game of Thrones as a TV show is actually a lot tighter and better entertainment-wise than the books are.
Yeah. I've only read the first one, but I can totally see that.
Are you ready for Beverage Challenge?
Yes.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we will. You'll hear an ad for somebody.
Nice.
Probably for Rad Rangers Radical Radcast.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks, right? I think that's the only spot I've got right now. But that'll be it. And then we'll come back, and me and Ryan Cadaver are going to undertake a beverage challenge.
That sounds amazing.
Temporal anomaly detected on Earth 2017. Is it the Doctor? No, it is a human using the number 42. They have the ultimate answer. They are having civil discussions about television, film, comics, books, and video games. Where is the fan rage? This is a threat to the Daleks. We must exterminate them. Humans must be hostile to each other so that the Daleks may rule supreme. Exterminate. Exterminate! The 42 cast. Bad for Daleks, good for humanity.
All right, we're back. We talked a little bit more about Ready Player One, but everybody's going to go see it, so it really doesn't even matter what we have to say. We have a beverage taste test that we're going to do live here on the podcast. This is a first for the Needless Things podcast.
I am excited to be a part of this.
What we have here is the last of the eggnog from this Christmas season that is currently, for reasons I can't really explain, sitting in the Star Wars buckets from AMC theaters.
It made perfect sense to me. I don't know.
You're like, oh, he's got a bucket with eggnog.
A bucket of eggnog. Yeah.
And the last of the Jacko Blast.
Yes.
Also from not from the Christmas season.
No.
But Jacko Blast is forever, I think.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do...
I say it lasts until it's not cold anymore.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Is we're going to, however much you feel comfortable... We're going to take these Frankenstein glasses, because that's how we drink eggnog here in the Phantom Zone.
That is fantastic.
Out of Frankenstein cups.
I like it.
We're going to add...
Are these vintage?
No, not even. They're probably Dollar Tree, actually.
They look pretty awesome.
Which makes them, the cheap material makes them look vintage.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of Dollar Tree.
Are they vintage? No, they're just shitty.
So I'm going to throw some eggnog in that cup.
Yeah, I'll do however much you do.
You do, here, whatever you're comfortable with. Just put it in there.
I'm back, glug, glug, glug.
And, we got, I think, just enough Jacko Blast in here for the both of us. I'm going to place that back in the appropriate eggnog receptacle, please.
Which is a bucket, clearly.
Yeah, Star Wars bucket. I'm going to put that much Jacko Blast in there.
Seems fair.
All right. And I should have brought some stirrers down, because this is looking kind of disgusting right now. Do you know what happens when you add Jacko Blast to eggnog?
It looks like swamp ass.
It just sits on top of the eggnog.
Yeah, it does.
It creates a colloid. Or is that a suspension? That's a suspension.
Yeah.
That's a suspension. It's been a long time since I was in high school chemistry. We're gonna shake these up a little bit.
And
it seems to be
nice
mixing.
Swirl.
You know what? I might even stick my finger in there and swizzle it around a little bit.
That's going to add some flavor.
Give it the old swizzle finger. All right.
It's a Hawaiian mix.
I just cheated a little bit because I just tasted my finger. And I got to tell you, Ryan Cadaver, I think we're in for a fucking treat.
That's awesome.
We may be polishing this off.
Oh, I'm down.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Then we're going to do to podcasting.
To podcasting.
In 3, 2, here we go.
That was one of the best goddamn things I've ever had.
That was amazing.
Oh my god. That was really good.
I really didn't know. Because at the end of I don't know how big a fan of eggnog you are.
Oh, I love it.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, I love it.
And you know how at the end of the holiday season, when you're like, while we're sitting here talking, I'm pouring another one of those.
Yeah, that was great.
At the end of the holiday season, when you're like, oh man, I don't know if I've had enough eggnog yet. I want some more, but then you go to the store and they're starting to run out. And that happened to me a couple of years ago, and all they had was pumpkin spice eggnog. And I was a little dubious of it.
Yeah, it's odd.
But I wanted eggnog, so I'm like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to give it a shot. And,
but I am totally one of those people that's like pumpkin spice, whatever.
Yeah, totally. Dude, I don't know if you saw the video I put up on Instagram where I put the eggnog in the pumpkin spice life cereal and ate it.
I did see that. That actually looked pretty good.
It was amazing,
but
for
too much of a good thing.
3 or 4 spoonfuls.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And then that was kind of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had the pumpkin spice eggnog, and I was like, man, it was actually really good. And I wondered if the Jacko Blast would achieve the same effect. And I got to say,
that's fantastic.
This is a success.
That's all the bite.
Yeah, it really
completely.
does.
Yeah.
It really does. It's just got the flavor and not the... because Mrs. Troublemaker she doesn't ever want pumpkin spice anything ever again after the Jason Olympics.
Yeah, we went pretty hardcore.
We killed a few people on Jack and Blast. I don't think Red Ranger's going to.
I bought a couple more bottles after that. I was like, this is awesome, but I love it.
All right, so we've talked about movies a little bit. Ready Player One. I'm going to go see it. I don't super love the trailers, but there's no way I can't see a movie totally centered around pop culture.
Yeah, because like at least 15 of your favorite characters are going to show up in some way.
Right.
Yeah,
and that'll be part of the fun of the movie is sitting there watching, because I don't know if Iron Giant was in the first trailer or not, but he was at the end of the one we saw today.
Yeah.
Well, dude, okay.
I'm already in. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like this has to be a hit. I mean, it's Spielberg. It's got like all these like cool characters. I think it'd be a good one.
And speaking of hits, I think it's really funny that Jumanji has done so much better than they actually expected it to.
Yeah.
Because there's, in that world, this doesn't give anything about the movie away, but like that world and that concept, there's plenty of room for other versions, for sequels.
Yeah.
For something like Zathura to come back, which wasn't. It's funny. I've with people talking about Jumanji lately, I've actually heard people refer to Zathura as a sequel to Jumanji, and it's not.
Yeah, it's
not
totally
related
different
to it
thing.
at all. Totally different movie, and it was actually Zathura was directed by Jon Favreau, and it's the movie that got him the job directing Iron Man.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, I never liked Jumanji.
Oh, I liked it, but I mean, I was probably like right at the age where when it came out, I was
were you like? Well, you were born in '87.
Yeah, when did
it came out in '93.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you were totally
I was like a total mark for that.
Yeah. And whereas I was 17, so I was too cool for a kid's movie.
Yeah, and
right?
I mean, I've just always loved Robin Williams.
Yeah. Well, and he does a great job in it, but just wasn't my cup of tea. But Zathura hit me at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
This weird science fiction, like totally different from anything else that came out at the time.
Yeah.
I dug it. I would. They could connect those two. They could do something else with Jumanji. There's a lot of room, and obviously
they could do a Zathura video game.
Oh man, dude, I want a video game with this new Jumanji.
Yeah,
because after it was over, Phantom Jr. was like, "Why aren't there toys of this?"
Yeah,
and I told him because there's not really much merchandising for it at all. If anything,
I don't think I've seen anything,
and I think they really
weren't
too sure about it.
Like, I mean, I've seen the ads, and I've seen plenty of ads for it, and I've seen plenty of posters, but yeah, I don't think I've seen a single toy, like, collectible, anything.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
That's going to change when the next one comes out.
Yeah, and I could tell from the first trailer, I was like, this is going to be pretty good. Like, I was pretty confident that it was going to be good.
Man, it's really fun. And actually, since we're talking about Jumanji, starring the dazzling Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes.
What do you think about Rampage?
Oh, I think it looks awesome.
I'm fucking stoked.
I'm totally down. Yeah, especially when the crocodile thing shows up at the end. Or
well, and that was because I love that game.
Oh, that game's awesome.
Okay, when I was a kid, roller rink birthday parties were the thing. Yeah. I probably went to 10.
Yeah,
birthday parties at the roller skating rink or the bowling alley.
Yeah, and
while I'm okay with bowling, it's not anything that I personally am going to be like, hey, everybody, let's go bowling.
Yeah.
But, I'll go bowling. But,
yeah.
Roller skating is just not, I could never do it. I've never done it. Have you ever, are you capable?
I can do roller skating. Totally suck at ice skating. It's embarrassing.
Oh, I wouldn't even try.
Yeah, I went ice skating with some friends and I kept trying to pretend I was having a good time. And I was just wobbling and literally whatever I was doing was making my shins bleed and stuff. So
what?
It was really bad.
Oh my gosh.
The way I was wearing the shoes and the way my feet were bending and I was falling over and there were kids zipping on past me. I'm like, I suck.
See, this
was a couple years ago. This wasn't when I was a kid. This was a couple years ago.
That's me roller skating.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can't even roller skate.
I don't know if I can now. It's been years, but back in the day, I used to go to the roller rink, and I
almost think we should have a needless things roller
skate party and see what happens.
Yeah, but anyway, all those roller skating birthday parties, I would just play Rampage in the arcade. So that game, I love it. I love the arcade version. I love the Nintendo version.
Oh, yeah.
The follow-ups, they did one on PlayStation that was really good.
Yeah.
The Rampage World Tour.
Is that N64? Maybe?
That might have been Nintendo 64. But anyway, love the game.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw the trailer, initially I'm a little concerned because The Rock seems to be taking things a little too seriously.
Yeah.
But then...
Yeah, he's like, he's my buddy.
Yeah.
He's gotten huge.
What'd you do to my friend? He's like, what did you do to my friend? Yeah, that's it. That was the line where I was like, all right.
Come on.
But then, halfway through the trailer, they're like, oh, you haven't heard about the 30-foot wolf?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And
he's doing the Negan voice when he says that.
Yeah.
He's totally being Negan.
Well, and that's the thing, is you've got The Rock, you've got Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Just those two, I'm going to go see that movie.
Oh,
I don't care what it is.
It's going to be awesome.
I don't care if it's the history of cheese. I'm going to see that movie.
I really like the because he is all serious and then he's all confident and he gets in the helicopter and he's like, "Let's go save the world" or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know."
It's coming back to me.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
But then the tag at the end, I was about to say the only thing missing was a 20-foot crocodile or whatever he said.
Yeah.
I'm totally stoked about Rampage.
Oh, yeah, it looks awesome.
Totally stoked.
I'm all in.
And there are people who are like, oh, this is stupid. And you're like, yes. Yeah. Sometimes movies are.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And you know what? Look back at some of your favorite movies that you loved as a kid. Probably pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Like, really,
It's interesting because I was thinking about that.
Like, you're calling it stupid, yet your favorite movie's like Monster Squad or something.
Right.
Like, the idea that is
movie's
stupid.
Goofy.
But it's an awesome movie. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And that's... I'm jealous of my son because... I was talking to somebody about Pacific Rim the other day, which actually, Pacific Rim Uprising. I hate the trailers.
Me too.
So much.
Me too. I'm totally with you.
The original Pacific Rim was one of his first big, grown-up movies.
Yeah.
Because it's PG-13.
Yeah.
And it came out, when did it come out? 2000, it wasn't 2012. 2014? 13 or 14.
13
but anyway,
14, yeah.
he was a little young.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah.
And, I'm jealous of him now because somebody asked me about some movie and I was like, oh, he loved it. And it made me think about my own childhood and I loved everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have the
you
cynicism.
Overthink everything. Yeah.
And he's in that stage now where to him, everything is cool.
He's like, this is a cool movie.
When we went and saw The Last Jedi, because we've covered it thoroughly, everybody here knows, the first time I saw it, I didn't like it. But I didn't say that.
No.
Because he loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't...
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But the Pacific Rim Uprising trailer, the first time we saw it, afterwards, I think I had, right after we saw it, I think I had to go to work or go to bed or something. But he asked my wife, he's like, didn't we like the first movie? And she's like, yeah, the first movie was really good. And he's like, why does this just look like a Power Rangers movie? He's annoyed.
Yeah.
That this follow-up doesn't look as cool. And that's, to me, because when we walked into the movie today, that trailer was, halfway through, and it was the stupid, big, loud... almost Limp Bizkit-y hip-hop song.
I know.
Limp Bizkit meets Kanye West.
Yeah, it's the one that they've used in 20... I feel like they've used it in every trailer.
Well, here's the thing.
Or maybe there's just a million songs that sound like that because I don't keep up.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Is Kanye West put out that one song that no one man should have all that power?
Yeah.
Kanye West put out that song. That song has been used in over a dozen car commercials, movie trailers, whatever.
Yeah.
But then there are 20 other songs that sound just like that song.
Yeah.
That are also used in all these trailers and everything. And that's what the Pacific Rim uses that. And I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I loved the first one. Stephen S. DeKnight is directing it. He's never directed before, but he's been a part of a lot of television shows I love. He was a showrunner for Daredevil.
Oh, wow.
He did Spartacus. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's done some awesome stuff, but he's never directed. Yeah. And I'm a little concerned that the studio took it away from him a little bit, which is weird because it's legendary and everything they do is pretty awesome, but man, that trailer's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And I love John Boyega, and I can't remember her name, but the girl from the first one is back in this one.
Yeah, Charlie Day's in it.
Is Charlie Day's back?
Yeah.
Ron, would you know if Ron Perlman's back?
I don't think so.
No,
because
he cut his way out of the monster in the first one.
Yeah, maybe they like give him a cameo. He's not in anything.
At the very least, Hannibal something. I think his character was Hannibal something.
Yeah.
But anyway,
like Charlie Day looks like he's like in charge now. Like he's like he went from being like normal scientist guy to being like one of the main guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I like him a lot. But it's
no, he's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Awesome.
But yeah, that trailer did nothing for me. Like I felt the exact same way. I was like, it literally just looked like Power Rangers. That's perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, it looked like, and I even like the new Power Rangers movie, but it was Power Rangers though.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just didn't look like the epic like robots versus monsters, but it kind of took it seriously. And it worked, like it took it seriously where it needed it to, and I think the first one's a great movie.
And this one almost feels like, hey, you remember that awesome Robots and Monsters movie? Well, now it's fun and colorful.
Yeah, it's fun and colorful. And then they're like, well, what's cooler than a robot fighting a monster? Like 20 robots and 20 monsters, and it's like, all right,
yeah,
it's like you're going like
that's not the way to go.
Yeah, they're just trying to go bigger.
Phantom Jr. just walked into the room. Actually. What do you want to say real quick? What did you think of the new Pacific Rim trailer? Because what I just said is that you liked the first movie, but that this one maybe doesn't look quite as cool.
I didn't really see the first. I mean, I didn't really.
Well, you saw the first movie in the theater, but you probably haven't seen it in a while.
I didn't really pay attention to the second trailer.
The one we saw today?
Yeah. Because as soon as we walked in, it, ended.
Oh, okay. But we saw it before.
Yeah, I don't really remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, and that right there is pretty bad.
Yeah, that is really bad.
I don't remember the trailer about giant monsters fighting giant robots.
I should remember that. Yeah, like Rampage, I'm not going to forget that.
Right, yeah. The Rampage trailer.
That looks awesome.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
Are there any movies coming out that you want to see?
I definitely want to see Black Panther.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about Marvel stuff yet. What looks cool about Black Panther?
The first trailer when he was sneaking around the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked cool. And his vehicles and everything look awesome.
All
the vehicles look really cool.
All the Wakandan technology.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
And his suit looks so cool with I love all the light inlays in the suit and everything.
Have you seen the I think it's a Walgreens exclusive, but I'm not positive. There's an exclusive figure that's called the Panther Power figure.
What?
And in the movie, apparently he's got purple ground effects on the suit.
Yeah.
The light up.
That's in the trailer, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever even noticed it.
There's 2 Lego sets, and both of the Black Panthers are different. One has yellow on him, and one has purple. Yeah,
in the trailer it shows him for a second. He's got this purple lighting thing, and it looks awesome.
Well, the figure that they're doing, that's it's an exclusive. Power. It's a version of that.
Yeah,
it looks like it's pink.
Oh,
and I was like, why are they not calling this the Pink Panther? Which is terrible, and obviously they're not going to do that. But that's it's one of those things where in toys sometimes the color correction doesn't totally work right.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny.
No, the Pink Panther's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, no, I think that movie looks awesome. I'm actually more excited about that than Infinity War.
I am too.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason I'm more excited... How do you feel, Phantom Jr.? How do you feel about Infinity War?
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
But what are you more excited about, that or Black Panther?
The Infinity War.
Infinity War? Okay. I think for me... Black Panther is easier to get a handle on.
Yeah.
Infinity War is so massive that I just can't imagine how they're going to do it justice.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good, but yeah, exactly. In my mind, I'm how could all of these characters possibly have any meaningful moments at all in this movie?
Right.
And we still don't know where the Soul Gem is.
Is the Soul Gem?
I've already lost track of all that.
He knows what's up. I can't keep track of anything. What is the Soul Gem?
The orange gem that...
Have we seen it before?
No.
Oh, so it hasn't showed up at all yet?
So that'll be in the movie then, I'm guessing. It'll probably open with them finding it or something.
It's either going to be in Black Panther or the beginning of Infinity War.
I bet it'll be in Black Panther.
That'd be cool. That would make sense.
Although I've got to say... putting the soul gem in Black Panther is a little on the nose, maybe.
Well, maybe you can find it if it's got like a nice like soul glow to it. You know,
let your soul glow. So we're missing one gem still we haven't seen yet. It's got to be Black Panther. They've set them all up. So much story to tell in Infinity War. There's no way they can save it for that.
Yeah, I feel like the movie's gonna have to be like 3 hours long.
I feel like the opening of Infinity War is going to be Thanos just destroying that planet from the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
where they kept, what was that? That wasn't the time gem. What was that?
With the Collector?
The purple one.
The purple one, whatever that was. Whatever gem it was in the first Guardians.
Yeah.
Where that they put in the vault on the Nova Corps planet.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the movie.
I think the opening of that movie is going to be Thanos just destroying the Nova Corps.
Doesn't the Collector have one of them, like the red one or something?
I don't think he has one anymore, does he?
No, he used to have the purple one.
Okay, so right now, one is in... Doctor Strange has one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one...
In Asgard?
No, the one in Asgard. What happened to the one in the second Thor movie? Where's that? That's the red one.
The red one, yeah.
I don't know.
It's back in Asgard, because remember at the end of the second Thor movie, he has the gem and he's got Loki in the cuffs and they go back to Asgard.
But it can't be in Asgard.
Oh, it can't
Asgard
be in Asgard. Is that the one Loki had at the end of Ragnarok?
It has to be.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
So we've got the one on the Nova Corps planet, those two, the one in Vision's forehead.
Yep.
And that leaves the Soul Gem.
There's only one.
What's the other one?
The blue one.
The blue one was the one in Loki's staff, right?
Yeah.
The Tesseract.
Yeah.
And the Tesseract is wherever Red Skull went, right? Didn't the Tesseract destroy Red Skull?
Yeah.
Or did they get it back at the end of that one?
Or maybe it fell.
Loki's scepter.
Oh, is it still in Loki's scepter?
I think it is, yeah.
So S.H.I.E.L.D. has it?
Oh, yeah, because he had it in a scepter in Avengers.
Right.
We're like piecing this together, like piece by piece.
Well, that's what, and I'm sure the listeners, like, there are probably a couple that already know all this, but I'm sure everybody else is like, where is that stuff?
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like, it's cool, it is cool to, like, keep up with all that stuff. That being said, after this, like, no more stones, no more boxes, no more...
I don't think there will be, though.
Yeah.
I think after...
It's a cool way to bring everybody together. It makes perfect sense. But
originally, Infinity War was going to be 2 parts.
Yeah.
I think it still is.
I think... here's the thing.
It kind of is.
Right. I think what's going to happen is at the end of this one, it's gonna conclude in some way, but the story is going to continue into maybe the first part of the next phase.
Do we got any predictions on who's going to make it out of this one?
Man, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Definitely Spider-Man and the Guardians.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Or at least Spider-Man. Well, no, because we know James Gunn is doing Guardians 3.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah.
We know that for sure.
And I don't think James Gunn would let his kind of almost creations, die without him being involved.
There have been rumors that James Gunn is they're going to start a whole new Marvel cosmic thing, and that James Gunn will be the Kevin Feige of that.
I would love that.
And it'll almost be its own thing, and they'll do the Kree-Shi'ar War. And think about this. If that Fox deal, because I don't think the Fox deal is 100% yet. Like, the money, like, it's on the table, but I think the government has to say it's okay. I don't know that it's 100% done deal.
Because it's almost like a monopoly?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that the government has totally approved it yet.
Yeah.
But if Marvel has Fantastic Four and X-Men now, that has to change everything.
Yeah, it will.
And let's talk about that a little bit. I want the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Totally.
For sure.
Over the X-Men.
And that's the thing is, I don't know that I even want the mutant stuff, because now it's not just the X-Men, it's going to be New Mutants,
it's
New Mutants, Legion, it's going to be
that's
all
coming
of
out
that.
next year. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked for New Mutants.
Yeah.
I love that it's a horror movie because,
too.
People at first were like, what is this? But if, I grew up in the 80s reading New Mutants.
Yeah.
And New Mutants was the weird stuff. Like, Bill Sienkiewicz and Chris Claremont were telling these horror stories.
Yeah.
Like, it was some of the earliest, like, kind of scary comics I read.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember reading some of them. They were always, like, bizarre.
Yeah, it was always really weird stuff, outlandish stuff, whereas the
trailer made perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
I was like, why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
I'm totally stoked about it.
That's why I love Legion. It's got, like, a horror element to it.
Legion was tremendous. I haven't watched Gifted yet. We've got them all on the DVR.
I haven't watched Gifted
and
yet.
I haven't watched them yet.
Yeah.
What do you, Phantom Jr., do you think the X-Men need to be with the Avengers, or should they have their own movies? Because you haven't even really seen that many X-Men movies.
No, I've only seen one.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when I first saw the first New Mutants trailer, since it doesn't say, like, what the movie is at the beginning of a trailer, I thought it was just a horror movie.
Yeah.
With people with powers.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
because it's something that hasn't been done.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's been stuff like Blade and stuff, but like this is like it's like literally like super powered people in these horrific situations, and like with all the stuff in Legion dealing with like mental illness and stuff, and like I like that direction. I like telling interesting stories with these characters that, you may be somewhat familiar with, I think it's cool. Like, I would be cool, like, I know at one point it was on the table for Aquaman to be, like, a horror movie. Like, a straight
Really?
up... Yeah, at one point it was in talks to be, like, a horror movie. And I don't know, did you ever read, like, the I think it was, like, the New 52 Aquaman, where it was, like, the trench or whatever?
No, I never did.
And there was, like, all these, like... It was awesome, actually. Like, the New 52 Aquaman stuff was really good.
I've heard that.
But, like, basically, like, there's these, in the deep, deep depths, in the darkest parts of the ocean, there's these, like, evil, like, fish people that are, like, coming up and, like, eating all these people. And it's, like, horrific stuff. And I'm like, I want to see that.
Is it almost like Cthulhu type stuff?
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff, yeah. And it's like, and you've seen, like, this fish with, like, little lights over their head.
Oh, yeah, those...
They're like those, but, like, human bodies
what
almost.
What the heck are those called?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was actually just reading, if you're reading Dark Knight's Metal right now...
I need to.
Dude, you really need to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Aquaman actually was just talking to one of those kind of fish, and I can't remember what they're called. What are you, out of the DC movies that we know are coming out, what are you excited for? We know for sure Aquaman, Shazam.
Is Green Lantern Corps off the table? Because it was announced.
I don't think it's off the table, but it's no more certain than anything else.
Like Flash or anything.
Right.
There were Green Lanterns in the...
Yeah, they had a Green Lantern in Justice League.
Yeah, and I heard the original cut, which I don't think we'll ever see, but I heard in the original cut, he had like a bigger role, and I heard that was less of a flashback and like more of like an actual scene with dialogue and stuff.
I could have seen that opening the movie.
Yeah, I think that's how it originally was. Yeah, and then they cut that out.
So we know Wonder Woman 2 is going to happen, Shazam's going to happen, Aquaman's going to happen. Anything else we're not too sure about? Out of those three, what are you most excited for?
Probably an Aquaman movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because the bad guy could either be Black Manta or the bad guy who controls all the fish.
Well, I think Ocean Master and Black Manta are both supposed to be in it.
Yeah, and Black Manta
I think
awesome.
Ocean Master is the dude from Conjuring.
Really? Oh, it is.
Night Owl from Watchmen.
I forgot
I can't ever remember his name, but
I
love the guy.
Yeah.
He's Ocean Master.
Yeah.
And then they've cast somebody as Black Manta, but I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
But the casting that they did for Black Manta suggests that we could also potentially get a Young Justice style Aqualad.
That would be cool.
Down the line. Which, real quick on that.
Isn't Willem Dafoe one of the Aquaman characters? He's been casted in the movie.
I think he
don't know
might
who
be
he
the
is.
King of Atlantis.
That would be pretty
Maybe.
cool. Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel because we got to wrap things up in a few minutes here? We know how we feel about the CBS streaming service.
Yeah.
They don't have enough for us to watch Star Trek Discovery.
I think I already know what you're going to ask, and I'm gonna sign up for the DC one.
We have
there's so much content.
DC and Disney.
Yeah.
Both launching streaming services. DC's streaming service is going to have a Teen Titans show.
I know.
He's going to have the third season of Young Justice.
Yep.
And who knows what else.
Probably a backlog of all the old stuff.
But just because I don't know if you've seen the promotional images for Teen Titans.
I have.
They had Robin.
Yeah.
And who else did they show? Hawk and Dove.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. dude, that looks awesome.
It looked great.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
Have you seen
I
those?
didn't think that those would look
I'll
good.
I'll show you the pictures after we finish recording. They showed Robin, and he looks like
Hawking Up.
Tim Drake.
Yeah,
Robin,
yeah.
Which is hilarious because people were like, judging by the costume, it's Jason Todd, and I was like, what are you talking about? But I think that was IO9. Who never knows what they're talking about?
Never.
They showed Robin and Hawk and Dove.
Great.
It's a live action. It's a live action Teen Titans show.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't have really thought of Hawk and Dove being in, but I'm totally cool with that. No, I like it. Yeah. They look good.
And then Disney streaming, to me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because even if you
perfect
don't
sense.
include the Marvel stuff and Star Wars, Disney has enough stuff to justify a streaming service on their own.
Yeah. It's like good and bad because eventually I'm like a couple years ago, I'm like, yeah, I cut the cord. I don't pay for cable.
Right.
And then it's like I'm already signed up for Shudder, and I got WWE Network and then Netflix. Like eventually I'll be paying the same as
I
cable.
saw like a rumor trailer of live action Teen Titans. I saw like a rumor trailer. It was Robin in a Nightwing costume.
Oh, well, and that's one of the things they've been saying about Teen Titans is that it'll be partially about, a Nightwing movie is supposedly happening.
And a Batgirl.
Joss Whedon's Batgirl.
Yeah.
So much crazy stuff. That,
I don't think that's happening. I don't know why.
You don't think Whedon's Batgirl will happen?
I hope it does, because that sounds awesome.
I
feel like he would kill a Batgirl.
Yeah, but I think in our current environment, Whedon's got a lot of heat on him.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like he's washed his hands of Justice League.
Has he? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he does. Like, well, I mean, you know how like articles are and stuff. But I mean, there was like a tweet where somebody like tweeted and was like, "Oh, Justice League was like a big pile of trash or something," and like he
basically said
liked it and was like, you know.
Well, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
All we can do at this point is hope that Warner Brothers has learned what they need to learn, and going forward, we'll see some cool stuff.
Well, I think what's going to happen is I think Aquaman's going to be really good, and people are going to be like, oh, I think Suicide Squad 2 is definite.
Is it?
Yeah. I heard it was. Yeah, see, like, there's no clear... Like, I feel like Marvel's very clear on what they're doing.
Right, we know what Marvel's doing for the next at least 3 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with Marvel, I'm like, okay, we got Ant-Man this year, and we got this coming out this year. Yeah, but it's like all this stuff coming up, and it's like you know it's happening.
Yeah.
And with DC, it's a little scary.
Which is almost kind of cool, though, because, like, as much as I like the idea of let's stick to a continuity... I also love the idea of something crazy like Martin Scorsese's Joker origin movie. Like
that would be so awesome.
Like I want to see that.
Yeah,
of course I want to see that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like maybe they're gonna just do a hard reset, or they're gonna. I don't want to reset, but I want them to pull the plug. As far as like trying to limit everyone by being like you have to stick to this format. Now, if they want to keep like do Justice League 2 and have them back in it and have the same characters continue on, totally cool with that.
Sure,
maybe do some
have a central continuity. With maybe one movie every couple of years
that ties it,
but
together.
Also be willing to do offshoot stuff that doesn't necessarily stick to the formula. Because if you look at the history of it, we've got We've got Tim Burton's Batman stuff, Joel Schumacher's Batman stuff, Christopher Nolan's, the current, like, you can get away with not being beholden to everything that's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting a Venom movie that doesn't even have Spider-Man in it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Who knows how that's going to work? It has to be at least, 15 minutes for it to be able to work.
We got Tom Hardy's in it.
There's been plenty of stuff that's come out that I'm like, that won't work, and it works. So, I mean...
Yeah, that's the thing, is I can't look at anything and say definitively, that's ridiculous. Because it may be, but it also may not be.
Yeah, I agree.
Pacific Rim should never have worked.
No.
It shouldn't have been successful. No. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the stars aligned, they got all the things just right, and it worked. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Even Kong Skull Island.
That movie's so awesome.
Right.
I loved it.
Look, even what we saw today, Jumanji.
Yeah.
14 years later, we get a new Jumanji movie.
Yeah.
Out of all things, Jumanji?
Yeah.
But it's great, and it's exceeding the studio's expectations.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you never know. You know, you just gotta hope that there's good filmmakers behind it. You know?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. If you've got good writers and good filmmakers,
They can make any concept watchable.
Yeah.
So freaking Guardians of the Galaxy shouldn't have worked.
Yeah, right. It's absurd.
I remember specifically the first Ant-Man, which I love that movie.
Yeah, me too.
The first Ant-Man, I specifically remember people coming up to me and like we were talking comics and stuff at work and stuff. They're like, "Oh, well, Marvel's first big misstep is going to be Ant-Man. It's going to be terrible."
Yeah, everybody was not everybody, but like
lots of people.
There was a vocal presence of this is where Marvel starts to fail.
Yep.
People, and to me, all that is the people wanting to jump on and be the first one that called it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It is because like I don't want anything to fail. Like I want stuff to be good.
To do well. Even stuff I don't like, I want to do well because man, make more. Other people like it.
Yeah.
If Ready Player One, if I hate it but everybody else loves it, I want another Ready Player One because it's good for everybody else.
Exactly.
You know,
that's how I feel.
I would never wish ill upon anything except Pepsi.
Yeah, Pepsi's
I hate
awful.
Pepsi.
Pepsi's
sucks. Terrible. Huh?
If they make another Ready Player One movie, it should be called Ready Player Two.
There you go.
There you go. It's it'll be that's conflict. Probably exactly what it'll be. Yeah.
It's done.
Ready Player 3, Ready Player 4.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Yeah.
So
they'll never run out of content.
Ready Player 100.
We gotta wrap this thing up. Looking ahead at 2018, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you're specifically excited about?
The Purge 4, The Island. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You've got a whole list. We didn't Wreck-It Ralph 2? What have you seen about it?
I didn't know that was
happening. Or
happening.
did you just love the first one so much you're ready?
The first one's incredible.
I know there is a trailer, but it's not much of really anything.
Is it just like a little teaser?
Yeah, it's like Vanellope and Ralph going, they're... I don't even know how to describe it, but they're going through like a tube.
Okay.
But that's it.
Oh, it's the internet, right? It's like the whole internet.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like traveling through the internet?
Yeah, I think we watched the teaser. I know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so
I thought that was an excellent movie. So
yeah, it was.
I'm all about it. I mean, as far as stuff coming out, I'm excited about the new Halloween, which I think is going to be 2018.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm excited about that. New Mutants we talked about. I'm trying to think of stuff we haven't talked about. There's a Teen Titans Go movie, which theatrical release.
Yeah, did you know about that?
No.
I thought I told you about it. Yeah, they're doing a theatrical Teen Titans Go, which
what does theatrical mean?
I mean, it's coming out in movie theaters.
Oh.
Which, those episodes are 11 minutes.
I know.
So
I was like, how is this going to be a whole
that?
Maybe it can be as long as the Minions movie.
Well, that is. It's going to be like an hour and a half, 80, 89 to 100 minutes or whatever. I don't know how you do that. And we love Teen Titans Go. I know a lot of people don't like it because they couldn't adjust to it from Young Justice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we love it. But even loving it, I don't know.
I'll totally be.
I have faith in them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this comes out in 2018 or not, but Incredibles 2.
Yeah, Incredibles 2 is 2018.
Yep.
Yes.
That Robert Rodriguez movie, Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, dude,
that looks amazing.
I'm not a big anime fan.
Yeah.
But Battle Angel Alita...
I'm very picky about the anime.
Actually, you know what? Have you seen it?
No.
I have an extra copy of it I will give to you.
Really?
It's awesome.
Oh, wow.
I love
okay.
it.
Sweet.
And I even read the manga, and I definitely don't read much of that.
Yeah.
I read that. I love that story.
Nice.
I love those characters. I'm totally stoked for that. And I was concerned about Robert Rodriguez doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of his... But it didn't seem like he was a good fit for that.
Yeah.
But after seeing the trailer, personally, I am totally down with the CGIs.
Yeah, I think it looks perfect.
People were like, that's too weird. But I love the idea that we're taking that anime look and applying it to a real character. Like, we're supposed to feel the uncanny valley with her. That's the point.
Yeah.
I love it.
I got that from the trailer, and I know nothing about the source material really, but
I think I've got it right over here. I'll give it to you.
That'd be awesome.
You can have it because I ordered. I thought my copy was gone, so I ordered a copy, and then I found my copy.
Oh, nice.
So you can have this other one.
Well, yeah. I mean, aside from that, Deadpool 2, obviously.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Gonna be good.
Which Phantom Jr. You can see that in 10 years. Deadpool.
I'm not excited at all about Solo.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh.
I know I'll probably like it, but I want new stories. That's why I like Last Jedi. Like I like new stuff.
So new.
Yeah, I like it to move forward. I don't want to go back. And I
want to mix because I love Rogue One.
Well,
Rogue One is my favorite post Disney.
But it was it was a story that like we knew the conclusion, but we didn't really know what happened.
That's what Solo is.
But like Han Solo's not a hero. Like, he is a hero now to us, but he wasn't before.
Well, but you can love, like, Indiana Jones. I mean, if you look at him, he's not really a hero.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a guy who wants stuff in a museum. He's kind of a jerk, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I don't know. And I do love Indiana Jones.
The kid looks great. The little bit of stuff I've seen with him, I can see it.
I can totally see it. Yeah,
I love what's her face, Daenerys.
I'm not even saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying. I'm just saying like I'm having a really hard time finding myself to get hyped about it.
You know what I wish? I wish they were holding it till December.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a little bummed it's coming out in May because I love having a Christmas Star Wars movie.
Me too.
And the problem with it coming out in May is it's killing the Last Jedi toy line.
Yeah.
Because assuming there's going to be a Solo toy line, that's going to launch in about 2 or 3 months here, which means The Last Jedi is not going to get the secondary wave that like Force Awakens and other movies have gotten.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, because I just now have gotten Kylo Ren's fighter and the crate fighter thing over there.
Yeah.
And like I dig them. I want more Last Jedi toys.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's about it. Isle of Dogs, the Wes Anderson movie, looks really good.
How do you feel? I actually mentioned that to your mom because you and I went and saw some movie and it had the trailer for Isle of Dogs in front of it. You remember that? The stop motion, all the dogs on the island? Where you didn't seem super excited. Is it too weird?
Oh, it's very weird.
It kind of looks weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you love dogs, and I thought you were going to love that trailer, but you were kind of like, eh.
Did y'all see Fantastic Mr. Fox?
He has not seen it.
It's great.
Loved
it.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's by the same guy that did Isle of Dogs.
Oh.
I definitely, I don't know, if he's not interested in it, I probably won't see Isle of Dogs in theater.
Yeah. I don't even know if I will, but I do want to see it.
I love it.
I do too.
Everything he's done, I absolutely love.
I don't dislike any of his movies.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he's great.
They need to make a AT-AT Last Jedi toy.
Yeah, the gorilla-looking one.
That one's awesome, yeah.
That's great. Well, the thing with Last Jedi is there's some Lego sets that they did.
Yeah.
That they didn't do toys of, because I want that bomber. I want the bomber
those things are
so
awesome.
bad that they only did a Lego.
I want a toy version of Luke's Island.
Yeah, that would like the old Dagobah playset for Empire Strikes Back. That would be awesome.
Put little porgs all over it.
Well, that's why I bought that Luke figure from Target, because he comes with, he had the little rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it's got the little rocks. It doesn't have any porgs. We need porg packs, people, and that's how we're going to close this thing out, is we're going to say,
porg packs.
We're going to throw numbers out. I will say this. If Hasbro, Lego, if Jax wants to do porg big figs, I'll buy all the porgs.
That's true.
I will buy all the porgs.
Yeah,
if they
every
do a
single
pack
one.
of Lego porgs, if they do a pack of Hasbro porgs, I don't care. I'll buy them all.
I already have like 2.
Phantom Jr., how many porgs would you buy?
2 billion.
2 billion porgs.
That's a lot.
Ryan Cadaver, what format and how many? Like, what's your dream porg?
A RPG video game where you play as a porg.
Oh, dude. Porg Life?
Yes.
Porg Life.
Or yeah, do it like The Sims, but with porgs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Needs
That's
to happen.
perfect. Yep.
Guys, thank you. Phantom Jr., you live here anyway, so you were just stuck here. Ryan Cadaver, thanks for coming out to the Phantom Zone. What have you guys got going on? You're working on stuff, right?
We're working on a new album. We're going to have, probably before this drops, we're going to have a new studio update. We just went to a cabin, recorded 3 songs. We
wore pajamas.
3 songs. I wore a lot of pajamas the whole time. And I got grief about it the whole time. I'm like, I'm in a cabin. I'm recording music. I'm in pajamas. But yeah, it's some really good stuff. We're doing some really interesting stuff. I don't want to give too much away. But
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited about it. I know a little bit. Obviously not as much as you know.
Yeah.
But I know a little bit, and I'm stoked.
Yeah. Oh, and funny story real quick about the new album. So we went up there, and I've had this one song that we wrote like probably about 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. I was so excited about recording it, and I was like, I had everything written out, and it was about Dracula. And we went to Romania, and I was writing lyrics over there, and I'm like, I'm all hyped on it. And we go to record it, and I'm like, this sucks. Like, this is awful. I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. I was like really upset about it. And, like, cause like it sounded fine when I wrote it.
Yeah.
And then like, and we don't really like, well, like we write stuff and then record it. Like we don't really like play it live or anything before. So like, you know, like we play it together, but like we don't like do like, you know, we don't play it out or anything.
Right.
So it's one of those things where like, I was fairly confident it sounded good, but then once everything had been laid down and the music sounded so awesome, and I was like, this is so good. And I laid down my tracks, and I'm like, I hate it. I was so mad. So, like, I got, like, blackout drunk. And the next day, I woke up, and I'm, like, in the shower, halfway hanging out. I'm, like, throwing up. And, like, I got to, like, I'm like, I get an idea. And I'm like, oh, we need to do a song about Alien, basically. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's about Alien.
Okay.
So I'm like, I need to do a song about Alien. I'm like, that would be pretty cool. And then I'll just start coming up with all these ideas. So I'm like, in the shower, throwing up, writing a song. And like, everyone's like, what's wrong with Ryan? Is he alright? And I can like walk up the stairs and I'm like, I got it. And I laid down all the vocal tracks for it, changed every single line. It's my favorite song. So,
oh, that's awesome.
So look forward to that.
And you know what? For anybody out there listening, like, so often that's how creativity happens.
Yeah.
Is you build greatness on top of crap.
Yeah.
Like, you come up with what you think is going to be so great, and then you start to execute it, and you realize, this is terrible. But that realization sometimes leads to the next level.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like, you know, that's why there's so much like stuff out there that's not good. It's because some people don't have that realization. And it's a special talent to be able to realize, well, that's where I went wrong.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is they may even realize that it's crap, but they feel like I put so much work into this that this is what we're sticking with.
Yeah.
Instead of being willing to throw it away.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite songs, and we just did that over the weekend. And it's awesome because like none of us had ever heard it before. Like it's just everyone in the band's like, this is completely different than what we practice, but this is awesome. So like it worked out. So
well, awesome! I cannot wait to hear the album, and I cannot wait. I will talk about this in either the intro. Well, and then I'll talk about it in the intro. I also cannot wait to hear the Casket Creatures at the Needless Things podcast 200th episode extravaganza.
Yes,
in just a couple of weeks.
I'm so stoked.
Go on Facebook and look for that if you're part of the Needless Things podcast Facebook group, or you follow the Needless Things Facebook page. Then you will see the event. But this is a live event that is happening that I will detail. Like I said, you probably already heard about it in the intro. So there you go. Ryan Cadaver, thank you for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Phantom Jr., thank you for making your debut on the Needless Things podcast.
It was awesome, buddy.
And we'll see everybody sooner than later.
Be sure to go to lesexoflex.com to download She Cold and all of the other wonderful music, wonderful, filthy, dirty music from Lesexoflex. Also, go to the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group and sign up or join or whatever it is you have to do on Facebook and RSVP for the Needless Things Podcast 200th episode extravaganza. It will be a night of entertainment like no other because I haven't planned any other nights of entertainment. So there's nothing like this one, except there is stuff like this one, but it was on TV and it was like 30 years ago. You'll understand once you see it, whether you see it live or whether you see it later on YouTube or wherever we end up putting it, or you just listen to the show. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be fantastic. And you, my friends, are going to be kicking yourselves if you aren't there to see it live the first time through. It's 2018. I want all of you to work hard at things you love. I want you to find ways to celebrate your life and the people around you. I want you to enjoy things. I want you to look at, everybody's got stuff in their life that's no good. There's no way around that. It's just stuff you have to do that you don't like. But try and look at that stuff even in the most positive light you can. Look at 2018 and say to yourself, this is going to be a good year because I'm going to make it good. Attitude does a lot. It sounds corny, but it's true. But most of all, remember, I love you guys. Happy New Year.
Thank you for listening to the Needless Things podcast. You're the best.
You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Downcast, or in the ears of a Trader Vic's employee. And of course, it's at needlessthingssite.com. Love you, mean it, uh-huh.